Hey Internet, Sarge, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we can continue taking a look at airport lounges, this time for focusing on American Airlines and Admirals Club. So, typical fashion, we'll break down everything you need to know about Admirals Club, where they're at, what you can expect, of course, how you can get in, and on the back end, what's the best strategy, and how you should overall value these. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, when it comes to it, if you're familiar with travel credit cards and the world of travel in general, then you'll notice that airport lounges are kind of a staple of the credit card game on the travel side. And they've actually become like the last frontier, or at least the current last frontier, that these card issuers and airlines are battling over. We have Delta Sky Clubs, United Club, Admirals Club. We have Sapphire Lounges Club coming, the famous Centurion, Capital One, Priority Pass, Plaza Premium. You get it. There's so many lounges, right? So as a result, all the videos we have down below on those will be linked for you in one playlist for Travel 101 if, American isn't your thing. So with that, American specifically, what is it? Well, American Airlines has the Admirals Club, and it's kind of been made famous from that movie Up in the Air from mid-2000s with George Clooney in it. We'll probably throw some B-roll in it throughout the video, but basically what it is, these are airport lounges owned and operated by American Airlines. So, if you've been to any lounges, and I think they're kind of more the same. Now, I haven't been to one specifically, but I've been to many Priority Pass, Capital One, Delta Sky Clubs, even a Centurion Lounge. So, it's not these specifically, but what you can generally expect is the idea is it's not sitting on the airport terminal, right, where it's loud and noisy and things like that. It's supposed to be a quieter place, more comfortable place. Usually there's food, there's snacks, there's drinks. The cheaper stuff is usually complimentary. The top shelf stuff you're going to pay for a little bit. There's folks in there who work for the airline who can help you with reservations, flight changes, things like that. So overall, that's kind of the gist of it. Lounges get hyped up, in my opinion. I wouldn't think of it as any more than that. So just keep that in mind as we go. But of course, share your experiences down below. So with that, first of all, where are these lounges at? Well, again, most of the time you're going to find them in major American hubs or American Airlines hubs, but so from this chart that we're borrowing from Upgraded Points, we can see we've got American Airlines lounges, quite across the country a good ways, So basically wherever they're kind of a hub airport at, you can expect to have one. So again, what I would do is, I'd match this up to your home airport or route you normally fly to kind of figure out, if this is best for you and going to work out for you. And so now that we know where the lounges are at, how exactly do you get in? Well, a lot of these lounges, the major airlines, are going to be airline specific, so that means they're going to want you to be flying on their airline, so they're going to ask you for a same-day boarding pass. So that's pretty simple, right? You probably wouldn't be at the airport if you weren't flying out same day. Now, there is another half of the puzzle here, and that's what we're going to spend the most time on. So one is that pass. It is also important to know that Priority Pass isn't going to get you in. That's a separate network. These are lounges owned and operated specifically by the airline. So what else do you need? Well, there's a few different ways to do it, and we'll start out with the simplest and work our way up. The first one's going to be a simple day pass. So you can see here, to get a one-day pass for an Admirals Club lounges, you can do $59 or 5,900 American Airlines points if you wanted to. Again, it's going to be good for that day. So this is really if you wanted to kind of test out the airline, maybe airline lounge, see how it was before you progress into these other ones, or maybe you just get caught in a bind and you just really need a spot that's not the airport terminal. So that's how I would look at the day passes. But again, they're more membership-based, so this is how they try to pitch them. So our next one up is purchasing a membership. So you can see we have basically two types. You can have membership in cash or, again, American Miles. Now, again, I don't know that redeeming miles is really the best option for these, just given the cent per point valuation. So if you really wanted to buy one, I'd probably pay cash. But again, this is probably only going to make sense if you're like a road warrior, someone who can bill this back to a client, something like that. Because our next option is more in line with what we normally talk about on the channel. That is credit cards. Now, the American Airlines Executive Card is issued by Citibank. Right now, it's coming in at a $450 annual fee. There's been rumors that they may refresh this card in the future, so just be careful of that. But for right now, this is accurate. So the main thing you want to look at is the benefit, and that is Admirals Club membership. And you can see that that is noticeably cheaper than buying a membership outright, which, again, I think is the point. Now, this card really isn't that good, if we're being honest, for anything else except for Admirals Club, and it's also worth noting that at the moment you can add up to 10 authorized users to this card, and they all get Admirals Club as well. Meaning this card is actually a fan favorite for people who want to do that. Maybe, you're flying a smaller company, your friends, family, whatever, you all kind of pitch in for the annual fee and then divide up the actual authorized user cards. That's actually the best strategy that we have today. Now, with that, if you didn't want to get the card or you want to progress to see what else they have, weirdly enough, Alaska Lounge Plus memberships could also get you in. So a lot of this is coming from OMAD or 1 Mile at a Time, so I'll link their full article down below. But non-elite members, about $600. Elite members, again, $500 for that membership. MVP all the way up to MVP Gold 1K is the status range you're talking about. Now, it's important to know that regular Alaska Lounge membership only grants access to Alaska Lounges, but Alaska Lounge Plus can get you into American Airlines as well. So if you frequent Alaska, that could be of a help. There's also business and first class airfare, so we won't go through all this, but they do list specific routes that could get you in. So international, to or from the U.S., connecting to one of these eight places. And domestic, you have about 9 options there as well. So we won't go through all of them, but again, I would assume to check back on this because they probably would update this from time to time, especially the domestic stuff, I would imagine. Now, in addition to that, we have American Airline Elite status, so Platinum, Platinum Pro, and Platinum Executive Platinum. You also get lounge access when flying same day to from the U.S. in one of these places. So again, it's not status. I don't think status gets you in all the time. You just have to be going through one of these to or from one of these, from the U.S. to or from one of these locations. We also have Concierge Key. Now, Concierge Key was kind of made famous by that George Clooney movie we touched on in the beginning, Up in the Air, where his whole goal is, to fly the most miles ever, I think, on American, like 1 million miles. Now, Concierge Key is invite only. So again, I don't expect a lot of people to get this, but apparently that gets you in as well. Not as fun, Qantas Club membership and One World, Sapphire, or Emerald as well could get you in. And then lastly, we have another lounge here, the American Airlines Flagship Lounge, which is kind of like a step above Admirals Club. So again, these are their top tier lounges. There's far less of them actually in major cities. Chicago, Dallas, LA, Miami, and New York. So if you wanted to get into these, again, you're talking about Concierge Key members, business and first class flights, elite status, platinum and above, or One World, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is, again, the network that American Airlines is in. And so there you have it. Those are all the different ways to get into American Airlines Admirals Club. Now, overall, I think it's obvious the best way to play this. I think the day pass is good, again, for if you're in a bind or you just want to check out your home lounge or time to see if it's worth it, see what you think. In my experience, again, I haven't been to American, but I've been to, Delta, Centurion, Capital One lounges, many Priority Pass lounges. It really varies lounge to lounge, especially depending on the airport, size of the airport. Is it a major hub of this airline or not? So it might be a good idea to just check it out and see. Then after that, honestly, your best bet is the credit card, which I think they're priced that way on purpose. Because again, the credit card is going to be much cheaper. Again, the problem with the American Airlines executive cards is really just not that good for anything else aside from Admirals Club. So you'd really, in my opinion, you'd be saying I'm paying $450 specific for this lounge perk, right? 2x on airline purchases is fine, but the City Double Cash does that and has no annual fee. So really, you're just looking at the lounge perk. Aside from that, I'd say if you're a road warrior consultant or something like that, then, whatever. Just if you can expense it back to work, just buy it and expense it back to work. That's probably the option there. So overall, again, let me know your thoughts down below on American lounges. Overall, from what I hear, I don't hear they're that bad. Kind of more middle of the road, kind of like underneath a Delta Sky Club, maybe, but still better than a Priority Pass. But at least that's what I hear. So let me know your thoughts down below. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every week and right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, question for you guys, especially you American Airlines loyalists. Let us know down below what you think of American Admirals Club lounges, as well as how you get in, how you use your membership every year. Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. Talk to you very soon in the next one.